Okay, today, February 15th, 2017, I still can't believe it. I am in awe of how amazing this feels. Um, I have been waiting so long to feel this way. I've gone through some incredible, life-changing events, moments that God has given me to, nod and say, yes, you're on the right path, or no, dummy, wrong way. I can count how many times I should have died, seriously. I've always had this stir, this internal power. That's all I can describe it. This knowing. We all have it. But some of us, I'm going to stop talking about other people, have always felt this connection to something greater, just knowing there's something that I'm supposed to do that is meant for a greater cause to affect others in a huge way. And when I was little, I loved performing. I mean, I was always super shy, and if you knew me when I was little, I was crying all the time. Very intuitive. If somebody else got yelled at school by a teacher, even if they weren't as affected, I felt their pain. And that oftentimes felt like a curse. I mean, that was obviously, I'm almost going to cry right now. And that's just when I remember the moment I embraced it, when I was tired of my brothers and sisters calling me a crybaby. And remember thinking, I feel better when I cry. It makes me feel good. Not complaining about something, but like that release. And so I embraced it. I said, that's what I do, I cry. So there's times where I stood in my power. I knew who I was. I've had a profound transformation spiritually in my early 20s. It started with my brother Art asking me to be the godmother of my nephew, whom I pray for all the time and I think of. And I'm not a very good godmother in the sense of buying gifts and things like that, but anyway, I wasn't sure who I was spiritually, and I raised Catholic. I always had this relationship with God, and during that time I was just angry at him. And I already had gone through my own kind of transformation with stopped messing around with drinking and drugs and doing stuff. So at that moment when my brother asked me, sometimes you're asked to do something and you can't say no, not because you feel obligated, but because this is a chance of a lifetime. Like, that this is a wow, what a gift to be asked. And I went back to the church and started finding out what it really means to be confirmed Catholic, and that just started my spiritual journey again. And I actually spent time with nuns, and I felt like I needed to dedicate my life to God, to His work, is really what it is that I always felt called to. And I had a lot of debt, so I had to pay for that first and wait. And you can't just, run into a monastery, thank God. And during that time, I had this gift of the Holy Spirit, and I can only describe it as when I walked into the Carmelite chapel in Alhambra, California here. Uh, it was like the air thickened around me. So I felt the touch, and but then that time, Mark, my husband now, was in my life, and so there was that tear of what's right, what's the right thing to do. And I really realized that it would have been easier for me, as funny as this sounds, to dedicate my life in a monastery than to be out here in the world fighting myself and sharing my gifts. That's harder. And when I realized that I was running away from that, I knew that was the answer. And then, of course, having the gifts of my children, it just confirmed that. I've quit things so many times. And it was kind of encouraged by my mom, not knowingly, because she loved us so much and she just wanted the best for us and she didn't want to see us hurt. And obviously you hear that I was very sensitive, so I was really talented athletically at anything that I tried, and I was a great dancer. But if somebody was mean to me or kind of bully, and I was always somehow pushed into an advanced class when I really never passed the stages, so I was always too young, but since I was really tall, I looked older, and there was that assumption. And so I was kind of bullied and made fun of, and I grew up in South Amani, so if you know that we don't mess around there, we tell it like it is. So I would want to quit, and my mom would say fine. That she felt like she was protecting me. And that was my scapegoat. And Mark helped me my husband, to finish a lot of things that I started. And we raised our kids to not do anything half-ass and just go for it. And there'll be a way. But for some reason, I just felt like that was never enough for me. Even though you guys have seen my transformation, and I know that what I could do athletically and physically, so then I can always lean on that. But there's always, we all have our demons and limitations and things like that, and I'm not going to go into why I think that those things are, that I self-sabotage. But when I finally got my cosmetology license after 10 years after quitting with only 400 hours left, if you are a cosmetologist, you know how ridiculous that is. That's like only a couple months. I knew there wasn't time to mess around, so I went to the best. I went to a salon in Beverly Hills and interviewed with the owner, and she saw something in me that maybe it was tenacity, maybe it was just the balls to be who, no one. And these kids were going to Sassoon Academy, and here I was, almost 30 and driving from, 40 miles away, and I had the gall to even be there and say, yeah, I can do this, I want this. And she gave me that opportunity, and that changed everything. Just surrounded by people that are at such a high level, the drive became hard, and she ended up helping me to get into another salon with another amazing owner, and So Ginger Boyle is who I was given that initial nod, I guess, that yeah, I can do anything. Of course you can. And then going to Lupe Voss in Redlands, she taught me, Lupe, you taught me how to really be a leader. Like how somebody can actually do what it is that they want their team to do. Simple. Love what you do. Make sure you love who you are surrounding yourself with, and then do it every day. And the leadership that Lupe has is I compare that to every single person that I work for and with since then, and that's that's why I can't work for anybody else. That's why I have to work for myself, because the standard's so high, and I can only hope to be a leader like Lupe. And I've been in paid trainings and in groups, and when they say, I'm taking some calls and get on the phone, I've been able to grab that. If a phone call, I've been personally coached by Jen Sincero, the author of You Are a Badass, and and other people that I've made sure to be in. And yes, sometimes you gotta get in there. You gotta pay for that to get in these people's world. And my personally sponsored coach is a top coach in Beachbody, Julie Voris. Like, what the heck? I've had these amazing people that I've been mentored by. What am I waiting for? And today I realize I'm no longer thinking I'm good enough because I've been coached by these great people. Yes, I've been coached by these great people, and that means the world to me. But now I'm saying I am Rosie Robles Velasquez. I am great. And there's people out there that need me to be great. And so that's today. Starts today. So if you are tired of waiting for something, waiting for somebody else to tell you you're ready, well, that's what I'm saying. Let's stop fucking around. We're ready. There's no guarantee of tomorrow or later on today. That expression, we were born ready, we were. We just needed to find that moment. People are waiting for me. And if that's you, I am ready. So I'm here to lead the way. And I'm going to help you get to this point. And then I'm passing that baton, and then you're going to lead the way.